Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out this FPV monitor from FXT Technology. It's called the FX508. It's a 5-inch dual diversity receiver monitor, so it has a monitor plus dual diversity receivers, and it has a built-in DVR as well in this really nice compact package. And the one thing that actually there's a downside, I get right into the downside right away, is that it doesn't have an internal battery. You have to plug in power externally, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. But it comes with this sunshade attached, and you can remove it. So let me just show you this really quick. It just pops up. So if you're using this monitor, say, on top of your transmitter, because it does have a built-in tripod mount here, so I think it's a 1/4 thread screw, and you could use a lot of those built-in or those monitor attachments for your transmitter that usually go into the lanyard hook, and then you could use this monitor on your transmitter instead of using goggles. I know a lot of you guys that don't like goggles, box goggles, or Fat Shark goggles, will tend to deviate and go to a monitor style flying, and this is one of the really actually pretty good options. Been using this a few weeks now. I've had this for a little while and been testing it out, and I actually like this one quite a bit, with the exception of the fact that it doesn't have an internal battery, but I'll talk about that here in a second. So first let me remove the sunshade. The sunshade will just slide right off. You just have to push up here on the side. And it just comes off like that. And this is what the monitor looks like without the sunshade on there. And you can see it's got a very nice slim profile. So here's a quick look at the manual. Just give you a quick look at the specs. You can read over that yourself. And the voltage range is 7 to 28 volts. Again, I'll go over that in a second. Kind of annoyed by that. It is an 800 by 480 screen, and it is 16:9 aspect ratio. The two receivers are 40 channels, and you do get baseband. And here are the instructions for how the little joystick works in the back. This little joystick on the back is pretty much the only way to control the monitor and get to all the settings. The only other button that exists is the one on top here, and that's for the DVR, and I'll also go over that here a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this annoying power jack here. It's a micro USB jack, and at first when I saw this I was like, okay, I could plug in a 5-volt source and power this monitor. That'd be great. I could use like a external USB power bank. However, when I tried that, it didn't work, and then I read the manual. It said an input voltage of 7 to 28 volts. I was like, okay, I guess then there's really no choice. You have to use the included cable, which has an XT60 plug. So you could use, your typical multi-rotor batteries out there with an XT60 plug. That'll work. Go ahead and plug this in. But the fact that they provide a USB plug but don't allow 5-volt sources is kind of annoying. They could have just made a little JST jack here, so you can plug in a JST battery and then provide you a JST to XT60 adapter. Instead, you have to use this micro USB cable, which is kind of long compared to how big the monitor is. Would have been nice to have a smaller micro USB jack with a small JST plug, but I think that's something that I could probably make myself. It's probably not going to be that difficult. The wiring for the plus and minus, positive and negative on the USB plug is standard, so you could probably rewire that and make your own USB to JST adapter. And then, for my case, I would probably stick the battery on the back, some sort of flat battery, and they say like 1,000 milliamp hour 3S or 2S. That would probably work pretty well with this. So I'm just going to plug in a 4S LiPo into here. And to turn it on, you just long press the back button of this joystick and wait till the logo comes on here, and then you let go of the button. If you let go too early, then it just turns back off. And here we see we got static. It's currently tuned into Fat Shark 1. And if you want to look at the menu, the monitor menu, you just press the button in the back. It brings up the menu here. You can actually choose the different bands and channels. So I'm in group F. You can go down and change your channels to whatever channel you want. I'm going to choose Fat Shark 7. You can change the format. It's auto, NTSC, and PAL. I would just leave it on auto. And there's an on-screen display here that shows your RSSI on the A antenna, the B antenna, shows a band and channel you're on. It also shows you the frequency and the current on time for the monitor, as well as the battery voltage is coming in. And I think that's here where you can turn that off. I think that's what that is, the display. And then now the on-screen display is turned off. Go ahead and I'll turn that back on. Okay, so I plugged in a drone so we can get a little video signal here. And I'm going to actually change the channel to something that it's not on. And then if you want to do the auto scan feature, you just press the joystick down. And it'll actually go through all the channels and search for the proper frequency. So I did not find Fat Shark 1, which is on 5860. It found band A, channel 1, which is on 5865. So it's fairly close. It must think that the RSSI is stronger on 5865 versus 5860. You can see the RSSI here is 97 on both. I don't have any antennas on here at the moment, and I'm right next to it, so that's probably why it locked onto that frequency. But if I wanted to go to Fat Shark 1, Fat Shark 7 instead of A1, you can also go here and either hit left or right. I believe it's to the right for the band. So I'm going to change my band to band F. And then for the channel, it's push to the left. And I'm now on 5860. And the RSSI is about the same. So those are the basic functions of how the monitor works. Now we're going to talk about how the DVR works. But you can see here the image here is nice and bright and very clear. You'll find that if you look at this in person, you'll find that the image is really nice. Okay, so now to get into the DVR, you just long press this button here on the top next to the antenna. That will bring you up into the DVR menu. And I already have a file on here that I recorded previously. In order to play it, all you have to do is press the button, and then it'll start playing. So this is just some DVR playback of a previous flight. It's going to be fairly close and representative of what you're going to see on this monitor if you're actually flying around. I can see the recording is very nice. It's kind of hard to come through on camera, but the image is very clear and very detailed. To stop the playback, you just press the button again. It'll pause, and then you can press the button again to continue. To exit the DVR menu, just long press the button again. Then it'll take you back out to, basically this is the diversity mode. And then if you want to go to some of the other sources, there's like a mini HDMI in source, and then there's an analog AV in. So I think this one's AV out in and this one's AV out. Might be the other way around, but they have some analog AV in and outs over on this side. But if you want to go to one of the other sources, you just hit the button up. I'll go to the DVR, that's one of the sources. Hit it again. This is HDN, that's on the micro HDMI on the left here. And then we're back to the antennas. Anyway, it's going to do it for this review of the FX508 monitor. I think this is a great monitor, a lot of features, got built-in DVR, really nice screen, lightweight. I just don't like the fact that this battery connection here is kind of odd, and I wish it would have been able to power off a 5-volt source. But other than that, I really like this thing, and as a monitor available to, like, say, spectators who just want to watch other people fly, this is a really, really nice option. So I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to check it out. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.